What's up, everyone? My name's Dan Barra-Berger, and I run 3pointsofcontact.ca, a blog and YouTube channel dedicated to living and traveling with a disability. When I was 7 years old, I lost the vision of my left eye due to an accident on the playground. Much of my usable vision was later lost in 2008 due to a natural retinal detachment in my right eye. I had 3 surgeries over the course of 2.5 years, and the recovery took a big toll on my life. In losing my vision, I became angry, insular, and heavily dependent on others. I fought with depression, and I lost a lot of great relationships because of it. However, in early 2012, I had recovered mentally and physically to a point where I felt I could relearn how to live my life, albeit with a disability. I had a renewed positive outlook, and for the first time in a long while, I was looking forward to what lay ahead of me. I decided the best way for me to move forward with my life was to revisit an old passion of mine, which is traveling. I figured traveling was the best way to reinvent myself and find out what my new limits were. I had to learn on the fly, I had to adapt, I had to figure out if I was in the women's or men's washroom at a bar in Germany. Mostly you can tell by the screaming. I backpacked alone across Europe for 7 months, hitting 13 countries. Just myself, my backpack, and my white cane. I met tons of great people on the road, and I came back from the experience more self-assured and more confident than ever. When I came back from that trip, I had realized finally at the age of 27 what I wanted to do when I grew up. And that's why I'm coming to Indiegogo for support. I want to document how people with disabilities work and live and travel. My experiences with having to adapt and to learn on the fly is not something that I just did once, it's something that I have to do every day, and that's what I want to show to you. Now in 2014 I did a dry run for this project, and I really was just making it up as I was going along, and that was a great learning experience. The biggest thing though that I came away with was that it's damn near impossible to hold a camera and a white cane at the same time. It's really not that safe. So that's where Tyler comes in. In 2012, Tyler and I met in Lyon, France, and he and I were buddies from the get-go. He's really clever, he's incredibly well-traveled. He understands budget travel better than I do. He's really respectful and understanding of my disability, and he's a killer musician.
Dan and I met around 3 years ago. He was backpacking and I was living in France at the time. Ever since then we've been talking about doing something like this, and 3 years later it's finally happening.
With Tyler's help, we have an opportunity to show what it's like to travel as a person with a visual disability in a world that's really not designed for us. We're going to call this new project Traveling Blind. It'll be presented as a new show on our channel at 3 Points of Contact. It'll be presented in long and short form, focusing mainly on my adventures as a backpacker with low vision. We'll continue to produce other video content like travel tips, cooking in hostels, and other quick bits along the way.
We're aiming to leave Canada in early 2016. And the first place we're going to be going is Portugal. From Portugal, we're hoping to cross Spain and then head south to Morocco, and then hopefully into the Sahara Desert. Using services like couchsurfing and ride-sharing, we want to crowdsource our travels. Imagine we roll into, say, Marrakesh and stay in someone's home. We have an opportunity to see how they live, share their story, and also see how many things that Dan can trip over.
We're hoping to meet locals, learn from them, go where they go, and find out what it's like to live with a disability in other parts of the world and what their experience with travel is. What we're trying to do is something that's hugely important to me, to prove that people with disabilities can backpack and go on adventures just like anyone else with that same drive, to be able to experience the freedom of the road and to satiate the wanderlust that's in all of us. And with your backing, we can accomplish that. We're asking for at least $5,000 in support funding for incidental but still important things we need. Things like travel insurance, backup hard drives, importantly better audio equipment. Also, your backing will help cover basic travel expenses. For example, a backing of $5 would get me a pint, or 4 if I'm in Prague. $15 would net Tyler and I a solid meal, or a few days worth of groceries for hostel cooking. A $20 backing would get us a night in a cheap hostel, or 2 in an awful one, and $35 would get us a night in a really nice one. $50 of backing would cover our ferry ride to Morocco, $100 would cover it if you wanted us to come back. These are just a few examples, but honestly, any backing that you can help us out with is greatly appreciated. And honestly, the more funding that we receive, the longer we can be on the road, the more people we can meet, the more places we can go, the more stories we'll be able to tell. And that's what we want to bring to you with your assistance. Getting a YouTube channel up and running is not the easiest thing, and we hope you find us both informative and entertaining enough that you want to give us a little bit of help. So thanks again for all your support. Check out our website at 3pointsofcontact.ca, our YouTube channel, and we'll put in some links for all our other social media down in the bottom there. But we really appreciate any of your support, and we hope to see you guys on the road.